Hey everyone, welcome to another pre-recorded video from Two Scrapbook Friends. Today, I'm going to walk you through the brand new Valentine's release from Lawn Fawn. I'm sorry I couldn't be here live to do this in person, but I am actually on my way to pick up the shipment from our delivery service, and it will be at our store later this afternoon. But I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to walk you through all the great new products that will be arriving. So this will all be up on our online store for you to purchase now, and we will begin processing those orders as soon as I return with the actual shipment to get you your product as quickly as possible. So let's get started. I've got a number of slides made up here, and I'll just kind of walk you through the new stuff and show you up close with some samples what it all looks like. So I'll remove this one, and then we're going to get our next slide up. Okay, so brand new critter in this release. It is a mole. I'm not a fan of moles in real life, just like I'm not a fan of a lot of things that Lawn Fawn does in real life. But I do love their critters, and this one is no exception. So there is the full-size set called Mole Lot of Love. And then there is an add-on set as well. And each of those come with a stamp, a die, and a stencil option. So we will have bundles with stamps and dies, and then we will also have bundles with stamps, dies, and stencils. So you can choose which way you want to purchase that. And there is the little add-on set. So it is smaller. So let's go back to the first one. So the first one gives you moles in a few different positions. So they can be facing each other when you're creating your scenes. They can be looking straight ahead. You can use one or many. And then you also have a couple of them peeking up out of the dirt as if they're coming up from underneath the ground, which is super fun. And then, of course, you get some mounds of dirts, and you've got an individual worm, and you've got a worm coming out of the ground. You've even got a mole that's digging, and also some florals, and then some really great greetings. And then on the add-on set, you have a couple of more moles coming out of the ground, one face up and one as if it's going down in the ground. And you're going to see on some of these samples that they've created why they've done it this way. And I just really think it is such a smart thing. So here we go. We've got a little scene, and all of the Lawn Fawn critter sets are so great for scene building. So you've got one of the moles that's digging, one of them that's just sitting on the dirt. You've got a couple of just mounds of dirt, and then you can see that mole coming up out of the dirt and the little worm coming out of the dirt. And then in the next one, this I think is absolutely brilliant. This is using a previously released die called Slide On Over Maze. And we don't have any of these in stock. Unfortunately, we don't get to see samples of what they're going to do with these products before it's too late. So we will most definitely be putting in an order after the release happens. So we're going to add some of these to our order, although I will caution, sometimes when they dip into previously released dies and stamps, they sell out quickly. So if you're interested in something like this, then just email the store and we can update you on the status of that and when our order will be going in, etc. So the little die that is used to make the tunnels is called the Slide On Over Maze die. And it was released a long time ago, but of course they're going to bring it back to life now. But see what they're doing with it. They're having the moles look like it's, they're diving down into the tunnels and that you're looking under the ground at their little habitat there, which I think is just so amazing that they've thought of something like this. And then here you've got another scene that's built, and this one is actually using the stitched wavy backdrop. And again, this is a previously released product a long time ago, but they've sort of revitalized it to make like hills or mounds of dirt. So that's something else. If you're interested in getting that, just let us know and we will add it to our order. And here they've used that maze die again. This one is a shaker card, but it's just such a clever way to create a scene. And then moving on, we have the Critter Conversation Hearts. So this is a full-size set. stamp, die, and stencil options. So again, we will have stamp and die options and then stamp, die, stencils. So you have a bunch of little critters holding a heart, and then you have lots of little sayings that you can put inside the heart. And then also some larger ones that you can create greetings for your cards as well. And then they have an add-on set, and that is just a heart and then more greetings for that as well. And they have the same option, stamp, die, and stamp, die, stencil. And here are some samples. So in this particular one, they have brought back the How You Bean Conversation Heart add-on. So the How You Bean is the jar, and then the hearts that are inside the jar, that is the add-on set. So again, that's something that we can order in for you, but it's not something that we have in stock. And then you can see how they've added all the little critters with their hearts and sayings to build that scene. And then here's another card just showing the 3 critters next to each other with the little greetings stamped inside their hearts. And the cool thing about Valentine's releases is that, yeah, they're great for Valentine's Day, but they are great for the whole year, because love doesn't just happen in one day. So it's nice that they're able to be spread over lots of different things. So keep that in mind while you're looking at the releases. And then this is just the add-on die and stencil to do the coloring, and then the little verses put inside. So you can use them without the critter if you get the add-on. So aren't they sweet? I just love how cool they all look together. Different ways that you can use the same product. And then next up we have their mini set, and this one is called Soy Happy. Lawn Fawn is known for their punny greetings, and this is no exception. So they have the soy sauce bottle and then a little bit of sushi there. You can add smiley faces to your soy sauce or the sushi if you want. So they've made that an option. There's also a cute little heart there as well, and some cute little greetings that you can use, as well as the large sentiment that is included. And here's just some samples of how that looks once you color it out and incorporate it into a card. I also think that soy sauce looks a little bit like a maple syrup bottle. So there's an idea too. You might be able to repurpose that for another thing. And then the sushi kind of looks like a hot dog. So who knows what you might come up with. All right, and then we have the Valentine mice. Now this is adorable and my favorite for sure, because I love all things done with mice and Lawn Fawn. And this one is a stamp set, a die set, and a stencil. So we will have them paired as a stamp die and a stamp die stencil. And this time the mice have the conversation hearts and also an envelope. And then you've got a mouse just on its own that you can do different things with as well. And you know they're going to mix and match extremely well with all of the other mice and critters in the Lawn Fawn lineup. So here's just some samples of what you can do with them. I love them tucked into envelopes. It's just so cute. The one holding the envelope might be my favorite, I think. I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite. And here they've added it with a previous set that has the hot air balloon in it. So you can mix and match it with lots of different things. And then we have the Build a Critter Valentine's add-on. So as you know, there's a bunny and a fox that have been released as the critters. And then they came out with, I think they were released around, well, the bunny was released at Easter. Then the fox came out, I think, at Halloween. And then they came out with accessories for Halloween. And they came out with accessories for Christmas and winter. And now they have accessories for Valentine's. Now, the Valentine's one is interesting because they're, and like the other ones, they have dies that you can use on their own, like the stitched heart, the little envelope, the little letter. The bow and arrow is kind of fun to do things with as well. So even though it is designed as a add-on set for the Build a Critter, you can do things with it on its own as well. And there's also a tiny little die cut heart there too. And here you can see the fox all dressed up for Valentine's, looking like Cupid. And this one's got the bunny. I love the wings. And there's a different looking fox. So really sweet and fun things that you can do. Okay, so I'm just going to remove that slideshow and then add slideshow number 2 so we can carry on. Then they have the standalone die called Heart Blooms. And this is just a different way to add greenery and floral to your designs. Rather than flowers, they have hearts. So anytime you want to express that love, instead of adding flowers, you can add the hearts, and you'll see in some of the samples how it is used. So normally on a card like this, you would see flowers at the end of those stems, and they have done it with hearts instead. And in the background of this card, you can see that bloom coming out behind the love word. So that's the first standalone die. Then we have the paper clips die, which is really unique and fun. I think this is a great add-on die for all kinds of things. The paper clips look really sweet, just, put over top of photos or greetings, focal points on your cards. And then you could also use the binder clip to make like notebooks and things. And here's just a few samples showing you what they look like in action. And if you use metallic paper to cut them out, you can get a more realistic look, which I think is super fun. And there you can see the arrow on its own. That's from the Build a Critter Valentine's add-on. So you're just using the arrow on its own. And then you can see that sweet little paper clip on the bottom there that looks like it's holding on the sentiment. And here you can see that notebook look with those binder clips, which is really cool. And I mean, that just works for any season at all. So I just think they're just a really nice generic sort of accent that you can add to all kinds of things. And then this time they've released a giant outlined love word. Now, again, the love works great for Valentine's Day, but it also works so good for weddings. So as you're looking through these samples, think of black and white with metallic cardstock or sparkle cardstock, and then you can add things in like florals, or I know Lawn Fawn has a few sets where they have their critters dressed up for weddings and things like that. So it can definitely be used on the elegant side of things, but it also can be very whimsical and fun, which is definitely Lawn Fawn's style. So here you can see those Valentine mice are playing around with the love word. And there's the, what is that called? The Heart Blooms. And here, this is a really fun thing that you can do with any kind of shadow die. You can create a window for a shaker. So that is kind of cool too. And then they are continuing on with their quilted borders, which I love because they've been really popular. And this one is the quilted heart border. You can use it just as a border, but you can also use it to make some pretty cool backgrounds as well. So there's just 3 of them stacked on top of each other to create strips on the back of this card. And look at that sweet little mouse holding the envelope. And there's that sort of elegant look I was talking about with the white and the gold to do the love word. Then kind of in combination with the quilted border, they've come out with the the checked heart backdrop. And this one comes in both landscape and portrait. And it has a sort of a checkerboard feel, and you've got stitching in some of the squares and then little hearts in the others. And when you run this through your die cut machine, all those little hearts are going to pop out, and they make great accents and confetti for shakers and things like that. So you can see the checked heart background in the back of this card, and then all the little hearts that are around that Soy Happy set are from the pieces that popped out of the background. And there's the portrait version and another sample of a card using that. And there it is again, used with the heart blooms. And then they are releasing their version of postage rectangle stacklets. So other companies have done this, but now Lawn Fawn has their version. So if you like to have the Lawn Fawn brand, this is your opportunity to pick those up. And just some samples showing the different sizes of the rectangles in action. They make a really sweet backdrop for critters and things as well. So you can see two sizes of the rectangles on here. The white one is what the rabbit is on, and then in behind that is a vellum one, which is the one just larger. And then they do have a matching stencil that goes with it. So if you want to shade in the area within the stitching, you can do that and still protect those outside edges. So I love that option. And then they also have another stencil called the Outline Hearts stencil. This one is a really fun one. And not only can you stencil it on solid cardstock, so whether you do a colored inking on white or whether you do a tone on tone, so red cardstock with red inking or pink cardstock with pink inking, try it out on patterned paper as well. So if you've got a pattern paper that has a soft color and maybe not a very busy background, you can lay this stencil over top and you can create the hearts on top of that as well. So that's a nice way to use it. And here you can see it stenciled within the stitching of that postage stacklet to create a backdrop for that. And I just got to change out my slide here. And then another stencil, this one's called the Candy Heart stencil. Now this one has 5 stencils in it, and it allows you to stencil just the hearts on their own. Then you have a stencil that will insert the background. So when I say just the hearts, I mean just the hearts. And then the background is anything that's blue. So that's optional. And then the last stencil will do the words on the hearts. So you can actually get 3 different looks with the same stencil set. And you can do all your hearts the same color, or you can, each time you layer a stencil on, you can switch the colors so that you end up with multicolored hearts, which is really a cool option as well. So this is with all of the layers. So you've got your hearts, you've got your blue filled in for your background, and then you have the words. And then they have 2 new washi tapes. This is the tiny purple hearts washi tape. And then they also have the XOXO washi tape. So this is really great for sealing your envelopes if you're sending cards or even hand delivering them. It's just a nice way to decorate the envelope. But if you go and watch some of the release videos from Lawn Fawn, Shari does a number of different things with the white washi tape. She actually creates backgrounds with it. And then she also die cuts some of the paper clips out of the washi tape as well. So she places the washi tape on cardstock and then places her die on it and die cuts it out. And then it has the pattern of the washi tape on her die cut, which is really quite cool. So definitely check out their videos. They had a lot of videos leading up to the release, and they sort of break everything down with just a few sets each day. There's lots of inspiration and lots of great ideas in there too. And then they are continuing to release stencils, coloring stencils for previously released stamp and die sets. So this time around, they did a waffle lot stencil. So if you have that stamp and die and you'd like the stencil, you can get that. Scent with Love, which has the little skunks on it. And then the Scent with Love add-on stencil. And then also the How You Bean Conversation Heart add-on stencil. So if you have the stamp set that does the hearts, this is the stencil, the coloring stencil that would allow you to color it in with ink blending. Now, we don't necessarily have those stamp sets in stock, and we ordered minimal amounts of the stencils. So it is something we can order at any time. So all you have to do is just reach out to us, and because they're just releasing the stencils a little bit each time they do a release. So that is the entire release. Oops, maybe there's something else. No, an empty slide. That's what I thought. So that is the Valentine's release. And like I said, it is available up on our online store now. And you are welcome to go in and shop. And then as soon as I get back from picking up our shipment today, then we will be processing those orders right away. So definitely shop online. Don't come into the store looking for items because you'll be disappointed. Purchasing online is the best option with a release like this, because that way you're sure to get what you want before somebody else scoops it up in their cart. Okay, so thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon.